Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is October 17th, and this is your aftermarket update. So it is good to talk to you again. It's been a couple of weeks since last time we were together. We have had a really good month of October. I just have not had an opportunity to come and talk to you about it here recently. We have lots of stuff going on, work-related, and then I've had a really busy outside of work schedule. My son plays high school baseball, and he also plays on a travel select team, and that has kept us very busy as the season in the travel select team is beginning to wind down, and we've had a few high school fall baseball games. So life has been really busy. On the work side of the house, we have created and established, I've been talking to you about this new relationship that we are going to be coming out with for our members. That process has been in place. There's a little bit of work that goes on, obviously, around that. So my time has been really spread between trading in the day, going, visiting, and watching my son play baseball, and then also managing this new relationship. But we are kind of coming to the end of some of this stuff, and so I had an opportunity today to talk to you about one of our winning trades. I'm going to show you what this looks like, what the trade looks like, and why we got into it before I put the time signals on there, and then we're going to put the time signals on a chart, and you're going to be able to see that as well. So first thing I want to do is we have our market maker levels. We talk about these in here all of the time. The market was really very narrow of range. In fact, if you turn on the average daily range, and let's put some more days into this chart here. We're going to put 45 days in this chart, and you can see down here, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, that the range today, the entire range was 104 ticks. That's fairly significant, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. But one of the things that we look for is what we call kick the signal, pay the target. We're going to look at that here in just a moment. But you can see this right here after the open. And if I were to turn on just for a minute these revision signals, you can see this blue line represents the open. I'm not going to clutter up the chart here. We're going to turn those off for a second. And then you can see basically the range here today was 52.10 down to 84. That was 24 ticks really for what ended up being about an hour and a half of time together today. This market was just in this real kind of sideways rotational area. Once we began to rally up into our daily structure signal, we had a sweet spot retracement actually that we were looking at 13. That we were looking to get short. We talked about in this video today, my initial target was going to be right back here into this triple bottom right here around this 80. So I said into the 80s was going to be our target. But as always, depending on the speed of the tape, we look to try to extend those targets. So one of the things that we talk about in here with your market maker levels is we talk about kick the signal and pay the target. And that is indeed what happened here today. In fact, what we were talking about in the trade room is maybe coming down as deep as this daily structure extension 1. If you take a look here, this kick the signal, pay the target, we'll just draw this out here. Give me a second. So if you kick the signal here and pay this target down below you here, that is 71 ticks, right? That's a 71 tick move on the CL. And so that was going to be our idea. We thought we could go just a little bit deeper down into this daily structure extension 1. So 49 down to 25, 26 is another 23 ticks. So we were really looking for that bigger extension down. We got shaken out once we hit this daily structure target and this move back up here. So one of the things that we talk about all the time is to cut your losers short, let your winners run, and that obviously was our philosophy here today. I get in at 13. The high on the day is up here at 25. My stop was one tick above the high up here at 26. And then we're trying to hold on for this bigger picture move all the way to the bottom before I get trail stopped out on the way up. Now, that's the standard way that we look at the world, right? That is the standard way that we look at the world. We've done this for years and years this way, and it has served us well. Now what I'm going to do is show you this same chart, and then I'm going to add these time signals back on here, and I'm going to explain just a little bit about what this time signal has helped us do. We understand there's two things to think about with these time signals. Thing number one is well, let me explain a little bit first about what you're looking at. We have this new tool, this software is basically data mining back into the past. So if you just, in simplistic terms, if you think about when you travel around the internet and you go and look at a mattress, for example, the next time you show up on a Facebook page or you show up on some other site, you're going to see advertisements geared specifically to you that are about mattresses, because that was one of the last things that you looked to purchase online. And so trading is this tool is a lot like that. It is going back into history and looking at the footprints of where time and price action have moved in the past. Now, this is really simplistic terms, but that's what these dots and arrows and all these little signals here tell you. Basically, at the time of day that we were looking to get in short up here at your daily structure signal, there was a pattern that said we should expect some energy right here coming into the market at 9:36, and that this arrow means that while this blue dot means that the energy is probably to the long side, this arrow here negates that pattern, negates this long, and we were looking for this thing to continue down to the short side. So not only were we able to get in at our regular places, we knew that there was a good, strong likelihood that energy was going to be entering into the market at this point in time here today. And look at that, the next bar sends this thing moving to the downside. So again, our typical way of looking at it, we would have gotten in up here at 13 like we did. We'd have had a stop up here at 26, and we wouldn't have been as aware that this was about to happen like we were when we picked up your timing mechanism here today at this blue dot, telling us that there was expected to be some energy entering into the market at that time frame. This arrow indicates that that should be opposite of what the color and the direction of this dot is, and so the market then sells off fairly dramatically. So again, remember, as we look at these time signals and you start to watch these in the upcoming days and weeks here with us, it is more about time than it is direction. Time is more important than direction. Direction gives you some clues. But again, you've got to have your places on your chart for your decision points. So again, this rollout is with this new partner. We've been using the tools here behind the scenes for a while, but now we have established this relationship, got all the details worked out, and now we can begin to start showing you a little bit about how these signals work. So right now it's for members only. At some point we're going to be making an offering to those of you that are non-members, but for the moment this is a members only type idea. But again, that will be something that we'll be doing again here additionally later in the future. So, but I did want to show you today that we did have this really fantastic opportunity short up here at the daily structure signal and down here to our daily structure target. So I'm going to show you, as we do, I'm going to show you this trade. So what I do with these trades, if you're new to us here watching this video, what I usually try to do, this trade lasted about 42 minutes. That was the length of time for this particular trade today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the entry. Then I'm going to cut the video into pieces, put a little bit of music behind it, speed it up so that you can get the gist of the way that the trade went down. I don't want to make you listen to 42 minutes of me going up and down and up and down, right? So basically I want to show you the call as it happened in the trade room today. I then want to show you kind of how the trade plays itself out. But again, it's 42 minutes in length. So I've cut it down to about a minute 45 and let you watch it that way. It'll be a bit easier on your viewing palette. So without further ado, I'm going to let you watch this OTG trade of the day. 13, I'm in 13 short. Target here is back into those 80s. All right, so you can see that I got trail stopped out. I had to put the trail stop somewhere. Market rallies up to 69 before selling off down into what was going to be our final targeting area. We got taken out at 58. Ends up being 55 ticks. So here's what's kind of cool about that before we go too much further. We got taken out at 55 ticks. If you look at this point, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can see there was 81 ticks of range at that point. We had caught 55 of those ticks. So if you take 55 and divide it by 81, that is about 68%. We caught 68% of the entire range at that point in the trading day. So not a bad trading day. Also, it's contract rollover week here on the CL. That also makes for challenging trading conditions. So again, feeling really good about that trade today, given the lack of range and also the contract rollover week. So as always, I want to say thank you for watching the videos here at the Oil Trading Group. And until next time, I want to wish you good luck and good trading.